Peacewick University is a university with a long history. It was founded in 1935 as a teacher training college, but became a university in 1992. Their growth in research into artificial intelligence and medicine has been particularly impressive, and in October 2019, PU was one of the most popular universities in the country. The university is a non-profit business, which means they would have a board of trustees instead of directors. Research suggests that the number of students studying history and international languages has decreased in the last few years, and that this trend is likely to continue. The university is located in Country A, and throughout 2020 and 21, there has been an economic recession, and this recession is expected to continue for several years. In September 2021, there was a catastrophic accident at a nearby chemical plant. This caused a lot of damage to nearby school buildings, student accommodations, lecture theaters within PU, really impacting the student satisfaction and teaching quality at PU. Fortunately, most of PU's research facilities were located on a separate campus, several kilometers away from the accident. This meant that their growth in artificial intelligence and medicine could continue, and the government funding to the Faculty of Medicine and the funding from the founder of one of the world's largest software companies to the Faculty of IT wouldn't be put in vain. However, teaching for the rest of the campus was heavily impacted. In September 2021, all on-site teaching stopped for 2 months. Very little classroom accommodation was found elsewhere in the city on a separate campus, but the rest of the academic year and the rest of the classes were mostly provided through online lectures. Due to such changes in the teaching quality and the impact from economic recession and the chemical plant accident, the number of students for the academic year 2022 and 23 are predicted to be much lower than originally expected. Many locals have decided to postpone their studies for a year. Many international students will not return to complete their courses. This has led to a fall in revenue, which caused PU to make some of their staff redundant. Alongside that, there were human resource management issues within the Faculty of History. There were several claims that Jim Summerfield was bullying staff, and Patricia Hutches, a former lecturer that was recently dismissed, was taking this dismissal to court, was taking PU to court, claiming that she was unfairly dismissed because she had complained to the university newspaper about the management in the history faculty. The faculty is also complaining about Jim Summerfield's change in behavior to a more controlling style. There are also some ethical issues in PU that have recently alleged in social media and is now appearing in national newspapers. PU's corporate social responsibility relates to ecological sustainability, and the unexpected accident has caused a large reduction in resources used by PU. Adriana wants to maintain this momentum of change to ensure that PU continues to improve in its sustainability. For now, PU's long-term plans are to refurbish teaching facilities that were damaged by the accident and open a campus in Country B. For the short term, PU needs to revise its employment contracts to try and restore morale to the teaching staff that were lost because of redundancies. IT training programs will continue and be expanded as new ways of working are introduced. However, it seems that costs will be cut on many facilities underused outside of term time and lecturers traveling around the world to attend conferences. PU also hopes to rely less on the higher fees paid by international students. Within these difficult times, Adriana is determined that the university should not stand still and wishes she could see what the future would bring. Now we will begin a SWOT analysis. First, we will look at the strengths of Peacewick University. In line 1, we will see that Peacewick University has a long history. They also provide a full range of subjects, which means they can attract students from different kinds of fields and different countries as well. The fact that PU emphasizes on meeting the needs of the 21st century society also shows that they are not targeting a single group of students within a single field or within a single country, but students of the whole of the 21st century society. PU currently has a strong IT, business, electronics, medicine, engineering, and media faculties, with impressive growth into artificial intelligence and medicine. These strengths within PU has enabled the university to compete with more older and established universities. This implies that continuous investment and development within medicine and artificial intelligence is important to maintain their competitive advantage. On top of that, PU was one of the most popular universities in the country in October 2019, and student satisfaction was very high in January 2020 survey. This shows that these strengths of PU are recognized by the public, are recognized by students, and therefore PU currently has a good reputation within the field of universities. This also shows that Peacewick University didn't gain their competitive advantage just from their research, just from their quality of teaching. It shows that they have established a good brand image and currently has good brand awareness as well. Adriana, the president of Peacewick University, and the board of trustees are very hardworking. On top of that, university employees are hardworking as well. Together, they were able to reduce the impact of the economic recession in country A and the catastrophic chemical plant accident. This is a great strength because this means the university will be able to face any negative external impacts with a positive workforce, with a team-working workforce, which will help the university to protect themselves from damages in the future. And despite the high levels of student satisfaction and their reputation for being the most popular university in the country, PU has competitive fees. This means their university fees are lower in comparison to their competitors, which will definitely give them a competitive advantage. Although the chemical plant accident and the economic recession has impacted Peacewick University negatively, within 3 months of the chemical accident, the standards of PU nearly returned to its earlier high quality. Although there was some anxiety among the teaching staff and the research staff, there were less student complaints. This shows that Adriana and the trustees and the work of university staff had really paid off within 3 months of the catastrophe happening. The university's ability to quickly react to an external impact is definitely a strength, and this proves the level of teamwork within the administration department of Peacewick University. Line 65 told us that PU's teaching quality has returned to its earlier high quality. But in order to adapt to this new online learning method, PU has increased training for some lecturers, and this improved their IT skills, which led to less discontent among students about the quality of courses. Again, this shows us PU's ability to quickly react and adapt to changes. Within PU, there are equality policies, which means that they are aware of gender discrimination, racial inequalities that can exist within the work environment. PU's mission statement also reveals that they are striving towards corporate social responsibility. Alongside caring for people, as seen in their emphasis of inclusivity, equality, freedom of speech, PU also focuses on ecological sustainability. This can help CU improve their brand image, making the university seem very beneficial for the country and responsible as a member of our society. Lastly, PU really invests in training their staff. This is seen in line 144, where they send lecturers overseas to attend conferences. This will not only attract students seeking high-quality education, but also staff and lecturers that are seeking professional development. Now let's look at weaknesses. PU provides a full range of subjects. They're not specialized in a specific area, which means they can lack a unique selling point to gain competitive advantages over other more specialized universities in Country A. Also, PU's academic year runs from October to July. This means from July to October, their university facilities are not in use. On top of that, there is no revenue coming in during these times, which could result in negative cash flow. The accident at a nearby chemical plant has caused a large amount of damage to nearby buildings, including student accommodations, lecture theaters, and other university buildings of PU. This means PU now has less services and less facilities to offer their students. On top of that, these facilities will not be usable for at least 2 years as cleanup operations take place. This has led to all on-site teaching stopping for 2 months and very limited classroom accommodation within the campus. This sudden transition to online learning can really dissatisfy students that came with high expectations. And this is very likely to be so because this sudden transition has led to university not being prepared with enough IT equipment. Neither were lecturers prepared with enough IT skills to deliver quality online courses. All in all, the sudden change in teaching methods and the lack of university facilities can lead to competitors attracting students away from PU. Also, dissatisfied students can lead to a damage in PU's reputation that has been built up over the past years up to the point of being the most popular university in Country A. Some of PU's international students have returned to their home countries as their accommodations have been damaged. These students probably won't have much nice things to say about PU, and some students demanded compensation because the courses did not meet their expectations, probably due to the sudden change in teaching methods and lecturers not being used to online teaching yet. Again, this can damage PU's reputation of being the most popular university in Country A. Also, PU's growth into AI and medicine research had some slight impact as their research within PU Teaching Campus was suspended until the end of 2021 and 22 academic year. PU's growth into AI research and medicine research has been one of their greatest strengths, and an impact on this can definitely lead to negative outcomes, such as a loss of a unique selling point or losing their competitive advantage. And as students left, PU's revenue fell, but PU still had to pay for employees, maintain buildings, pay general expenses, probably pay for rebuilding facilities as well. This made PU face major cash flow problems. In response to this, Adriana made 10% of their teaching staff and support staff redundant, while 20% of staff were moved to part-time employment. This can cause great dissatisfaction among staff as they may feel like they were unfairly treated. Also, a cash flow problems means that PU will not be able to respond flexibly to extra costs and may not be able to provide for researches that are currently PU's greatest strengths or the training of teaching staff that is essential to restore the teaching quality of PU. Despite such difficulties, PU managed to restore their standard of teaching to its earlier high quality, but there were still some anxiety among the teaching staff and some of the research staff. This can lead to low staff morale and staff focusing more on whether they're going to be made redundant, how they can secure their job, rather than focusing on improving the quality of the university's teaching standards and facilities provided. Despite the restoration of PU's standard of teaching, applications for student places at PU remained low. This shows that it's going to take PU some while to restore their reputation. And there were significant shortages of equipment, particularly for economically disadvantaged students. This means some of PU's students are unable to access IT equipment required for online learning. These students can then be easily attracted to different universities that either don't require such IT equipment or provide the equipment for the students. Then in line 84, we see that Adriana spent most of her time and energy on solving critical problems at PU. And we see that her time and energy were spent well because the university has restored its original teaching standards. However, on top of dealing with recovery, cash flow, and managing redundancies, she needs to deal with usual day-to-day issues as well. This is a weakness because a skillful president is unable to focus just on big issues within the university. The fact that she has to deal with small, minor day-to-day issues means that her attention needs to be diverted and the time taken to solve all of PU's critical problems can be slowed down because of it. This also shows that there isn't an efficient distribution of roles within PU. We also have HR issues in the Faculty of History. First, there is high staff turnover. This means staff in the Faculty of History are not staying long term. This can lead to extra training costs every time someone new is hired and a lack of bond between workers as they haven't worked together for very long and workers often come and go, so workers may not feel the need to build a strong bond with each other. This can also cause a lack of teamwork and time being wasted alongside costs in training new staff as they come in. So overall efficiency may drop as well. Within the faculty, there is also low morale and anger at how Patricia had been dismissed, and fear about further redundancies. Overall, the atmosphere within the Faculty of History is very negative. Workers are not satisfied, they are angry, and they are not motivated. On top of that, some sexist and racist attitudes flourished, despite PU having equality policies. Staff turnover is high, which means lots of employees would have come and left the Faculty of History. Word can spread quickly from staff that has experienced such sexist and racist attitudes within the faculty. And there are also leadership problems. Adriana found that Jim had become more controlling, and he rarely consults anyone. This can lead to staff feeling like their contribution, their opinions and thoughts are not valued, therefore leading to dissatisfaction and demotivation. Overall, a sense of unity is extremely lacking in the Faculty of History. And despite having made staff redundant, having switched to online learning, accounts are still a concern within PU. Probably because there are high unnecessary costs being spent, such as facilities being underused outside of term time, and lecturers often traveling around the world to attend conferences. PU's cash flow is currently problematic to an extent that they have to make staff redundant, which means PU should either cut costs on facilities that will not be used outside of term, or lease such facilities out during the summer for external businesses. Overseas conferences also means that the university needs to pay for traveling expenses, accommodation. Therefore, other means of training can be exploited to reduce costs. And PU's current revenue streams are structured in a way they rely a lot on higher fees paid by international students. This means less international students because of the economic recession of country A or the limited university facilities provided due to the catastrophic accident can severely impact PU's cash flow. Lastly, research suggests that the number of students studying history and international languages has decreased in the last few years, and this trend is likely to continue. This will again result in less revenue coming in and cause negative cash flow. Now for opportunities. PU's growth in research into artificial intelligence and medicine has been particularly impressive, and there is opportunity to continue on with this growth even further because PU is currently receiving funds, large amount of funds from the government, and large amount of funds from the world's largest software company. Another good thing about PU's research into medicine and AIs is that it wasn't impacted as much by the catastrophic accident by a nearby chemical plant. Furthermore, their current research in medicines are aiming to reduce the impact on people and animals of the exposure to dangerous chemicals. On the other hand, their research into AI focuses on detecting contamination. Both researches are very beneficial for our society and can potentially be used as marketing points of PU. On top of that, PU's connection with the world's largest software company can also be exploited in the future if their research is successful. Although the current external environment caused delays in PU's plans for their future, their plan included building a new lecture theater, new buildings for the Faculty of Music, installing renewable energy sources for the university campus, and improved pay structure for lecturers. Overall, the improvement in university facilities can help PU attract more students and gain a better reputation in the future, alongside attract more qualified, higher skilled lecturers through their improved pay structure and improve staff morale in the future as well. Installing renewable energy sources may increase costs for the short term, but will allow PU to reduce their operational costs in the long term. But all these changes will be delayed for quite some while, as most of their costs will be spent on restoring damages by the chemical plant accident. Remember, Country A is in recession, so many other universities are cutting their marketing budgets. This is an opportunity for PU because Adriana decided to maintain PU's aggressive marketing strategies. It's an opportunity for PU to stand out amongst other universities and attract more students for the next academic year. There are also commercial opportunities as researches in medicine and AI has been successful. If the university is able to start selling their medicines and prototype equipment, they will be able to use this as a part of marketing to attract more students, alongside use it as a means to attract more financial support. On top of that, as 2021 and 22 academic year progressed, evidence indicated that PU's marketing was increasing student interest for the next academic year. This means the number of students of PU can potentially increase, bringing in more revenue for the next academic year. PU is also receiving support from the government and some computer manufacturers to help provide IT equipment for students and employees. This is a great opportunity because PU has to transition into online learning due to damages within the campus. Providing the necessary IT equipment for students and lecturers that don't have access to one will help reduce complaints of the sudden change in PU. And their change into online learning also brought some opportunities. For the first time, all of PU's electricity was coming from solar panels installed on some unused land near the research facilities. This is an opportunity for PU to really exploit their ecological sustainability (CSR) and potentially remain as sustainable as they are now if students and lecturers continue on with this online learning. And the severe damage on PU buildings can be used as an opportunity to refurbish teaching facilities and grow in their teaching provision too. So instead of just restoring those buildings, PU can make them even better. PU also has the option of opening a campus in Country B. And since PU is undergoing a lot of changes, such as the change in teaching methods or switching from full-time to part-time contracts, PU can use this as an opportunity to revise their employment contracts and try and restore morale to the teaching staff. IT training programs need to continue and be expanded as new ways of working are introduced, and these training can also be exploited as opportunity to bring the staff back together and create a sense of unity as everyone goes through the training together. Also, as a lot of the university's facilities are underused outside of term time, PU can use this as an opportunity to increase a revenue stream by leasing some of their services to external businesses. Lastly, some trustees have suggested no longer offering these subjects, history and international languages, and using those subsequent savings to expand further provisions to the Faculty of Medicine and IT. Although closing down a faculty can cause resentment within the Faculty of History, within the Faculty of International Languages, but this can also be an opportunity for PU to get rid of problematic faculties such as history and less productive faculties to invest more in successful and productive ones such as medicine and IT. So in the long term, it might be a more worthwhile investment for Peacewick University. Lastly, we will look at threats. First, academic year only runs from October to July, which means they don't have revenue streams during the summer. And throughout 2020 and 21, there has been an economic recession in Country A, the country in which Peacewick University is located in. And this recession may last up to several years. On top of that, there has been a catastrophic accident at a nearby chemical plant. And this explosion caused a lot of damage onto PU's buildings. This can threaten PU's financial position, and their future reputation, depending on how long it takes for them to restore the damage. It can also slow down some operations of PU or decisions of PU, as a lot of attention and finance would have to be spent on restoring these damages. The chemical explosion damaged and contaminated PU's buildings with harmful chemicals. This means it's not going to be easy to clean up, and the operation is planned to take at least 2 years. Throughout these 2 years, students may be exposed to harmful chemicals, and PU would have to hire experts that deal with cleaning up harmful chemicals. On top of that, local water supplies have also been contaminated. So it's not just a matter of PU's buildings being damaged, it's also the water supply of the university and the nearby areas, which can cause students to be scared and move out of the area to protect themselves from such contaminated water. Inevitably, this led to the university switching to online learning, and many students lacked the necessary IT equipment or internet connection to attend online lectures. As students are attending the lectures from wherever they are, there is only so much the university can do for them. This is a threat because it's not like the university can control the Wi-Fi connection of where the students are. The university's quality of teaching will rely on the stable internet connection of the students' living environment. Due to such unstable situations, for the academic year 2022 and 23, student numbers are predicted to be much lower than originally expected. Many local students have decided to postpone their studies for a year, which means there will not be much revenue streams for that year. and many international students will not return to complete their courses. Remember, international students pay higher fees, and PU currently relies heavily on this higher fees paid by international students. So, international students leaving and not coming back, and fewer new international school students enrolling will heavily impact PU's cash flow, as international students are one of their greatest revenue streams, and that revenue stream is being threatened. There's also an economic recession in country A, which could be another factor that pushes international students away to more stable countries. On top of that, local students will be